Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Brrrr! And a Happy New Year. Welcome to the Caffeinated podcast. I'm BUBBZI, and he's the beard. This is the show where positivity is the goal, but chaos is the process. That doesn't rhyme, but I could say less.
Listen at him go. Oh, yeah. Jeez, y'all.
Oh,
Y'all need to pray for me. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to let you all know. This is not because of caffeine. I'm tired, and this is what happens. I plan to wake up
when he gets tired.
I plan to attempt to wake up as a fix to what is currently happening. I do apologize. Oh my gosh.
Well, guys, as you all may remember, maybe you don't, and if you're the first time listening to this one particular podcast, then you probably don't, but we're going to take a little time off for Christmas. We got some things that we've been discussing for the podcast that we're going to do, maybe some new stuff mixed up with some old stuff. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We haven't really decided. But BUBBZI, what date was it? Are we coming back on the 3rd?
There will be
coming back on the 10th?
There will be a new episode released on the 10th.
On the 10th of January.
Yep.
All right. Now, I'm going to try again, since we're on a little break, to drop some little short videos. They probably won't be more than 30 seconds to 60 seconds, no longer than that, just to let you all know what's going on. Maybe, hopefully, convince you guys to drop some ideas and things you'd like to see in the upcoming year. That's kind of what we're hoping for. At least that's what I'm hoping for. What about you, Bubs?
Well, see, I'm going to make an attempt to not break the recording of the podcast for like the 80th time, where where the podcast gets delayed.
Yeah, well, it was just a thing, and things happen, and it just kept happening, and we thought we had it fixed, and it still happened, and I don't know. It was just very weird.
Yeah, I made a mistake, y'all. I do apologize.
No, I mean, it just, like I said, it's just one of those weird things that happens, and sometimes that happens when you're trying to do stuff. But we have to jump into this tonight, and you all, I probably should say in the morning, because you all will see it in the morning, but of course we record in the evening so that you all can listen in the morning, hopefully. So, but we need to tell them about our sponsor.
By the way,
this week we are highlighting Coffeetarian, by the way.
Hang on. I think we made a mistake again, because we did this earlier. Guys, if you did not catch last week's episode, it was unscripted.
That's right.
Yes, so we actually
talked about Coffeetarian last week.
Right.
So we got to flip it. So we're going to be talking about one of my favorite products.
Oh, okay.
Beard stuff.
If you guys are any bit confused, really quickly, Okay, last week we did the first what we called unscripted. That is the title. We did our first unscripted, where we usually have a topic and then we just go with it and try. That way we can kind of keep where we're at. Last week we completely went without a script, so we forgot which episode today was. Which it's 24, by the way.
I forgot.
Well, it's 24. Well, I also forgot, but. We also didn't have a script, so we forgot which ad that we read last week. So here we are. We're reading CustomBeardCo, the fantastic for people who love beards. You have a beard, you love your beard, or people who love other beards. Okay, let's
go. All right, CustomBeardCo, also known as CBC. Do you love your beard or love someone who has a beard? Or do you love high-quality beard and skin products? Well, then you've come to the right place, because at CustomBeardCo, you matter. CustomBeardCo makes high-quality beard oils, beard butters, beard balms, and whipped body butters for your beard and skincare regimen. They make custom scents such as the Outlaw, which is my personal favorite at the moment, Executor, Forest Frost, and others. They also rotate other custom scents in from time to time just to make you, the customer, happy and give you something else to try. All products are 100% organic and contain no chemicals or dyes. And everything is made to order. That means there's no sitting around on the shelves. And then they also provide free shipping for your products. BUBBZI, tell them what they should do or what they should not do just in case of allergies.
Warning, CustomBeardCo uses 100% all natural ingredients, which even though it has no chemicals may still cause skin irritation for some. So always be sure to test a little on the inside of your forearm.
I love it when he does his radio voice. So now head over to CustomBeardCo.com. Check out their awesome products. Grab some for yourself or for somebody else as a gift. And at checkout, type in Caffeinated Beard and you'll get 15% off on any order, $15 or more. Now, if you buy the Entity scent, which is just a signature scent, it's a limited time, or the Entity Beard Kits, portions of that will go to the American Cancer Society. Or you can go to the blog spot on Custom Beard Co. Scroll down and you will see a link there where you can give directly to the American Cancer Society through them. But I guarantee you, if you check it out, you're going to love it. You're going to get some great stuff. BUBBZI and I both love the products. Mama Beard loves the products. And we've got some more coming in for us to try so that we can tell you. Whew. We did it, Bubs.
Yeah. we were like this close. I don't know why I did okay, and then was like, oh yeah, we were this close. Yeah, we were this close.
Yeah, I forgot when we did the unscripted, we didn't put in a thing in there. I should have put something in, but we're all caught up now, so we're good. Yeah. So, I'm not going to go into this too awful much because, we usually give you the title and the rundown, but we're going to give you a little.
Did you say the rundown?
Well, as part of the rundown, we're going to let you know what we're going to do. But as one of the segments, we're going to let you kind of see a small glimpse into the mind of BUBBZI and the Beard and what we went through to try to come up with a title for this particular episode. Now,
and it
was bad. But what we decided to call this one to kind of keep it in the festive holiday flair was Grandma Got Run Over by a Podcast. Yeah. That's where we went.
I'm just gonna let everyone know, because this is our podcast. I'm not talking about me and the Beard. I'm talking about you.
Yes.
You. So this is also your podcast. When we say, hey, there was a process as far as creating this title, there were over 100 ideas thrown out. Yeah.
And we're going to go into a few of those here in just a second.
Like personal favorites.
That's number one on our thing is a search for the title. Okay. That's what we did. And then we thought we would, still keeping with the holiday theme, we thought we would talk about past, present, and future, kind of like Out of a Christmas Carol. So we're going to talk about the past, our favorite podcast, maybe our favorite holiday or something from yesterday, so to speak. Right. Then we thought we would talk about the podcast, the present day us, and where we've come from, where we've been, and when we talk about the future, things we'd like to see happen, and things maybe that you all would like to see. As always, we want you all to comment and share and, subscribe, all that stuff. But we want to know your all's thoughts, not just ours, right? But last but not least, we thought we would end with some New Year's resolutions. And we all know how good we are at keeping New Year's resolutions, right? So that's kind of the breakdown. BUBBZI,
I didn't do it.
Would you like to begin the journey that was the search for a title?
Oh my gosh. Well, there was a lot where I was like, oh yeah, that was nice. What was it? The first one I threw out was Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah, that was one.
Because because like, haha, the movie reference, you know.
Yeah. What? And there was, well, I said Scrooged. Again, we were trying to think something holiday related. And, you know, as we said a couple of podcasts back, my favorite Christmas movie is A Christmas Carol. So I went to Scrooged.
Well, things just started going further
downhill from there.
Well, it wasn't even like just downhill. It was like deep into outer space.
Right. Yeah.
Like mysteries unknown. Like, my I have like a couple personal favorites. One, which I thought we were going to use because he laughed at it and I thought it was pretty nice, was Feliz Nava Podcast.
Feliz Nava Podcast.
Feliz Nava Podcast.
I don't know. It was funny. And a lot of the ones that we came up with were funny. I mean, what was one of the other ones?
Well, like you have to grab somebody's attention, right? Like make you think. Like,
right.
What was the? I think one of the
Sticky Bandits. He wanted to do Sticky Bandits.
Okay, first of all,
and I think it's funny, but I don't know. They're just, for some reason, it just didn't stick to me.
Okay, first of all, Home Alone is by far one of the best Christmas movies out there. I may or may not have
argue too much with that.
I may or may not have broken the VHS tape from watching it too many times. Yes, I said VHS tape. I know what that is. I may or may have not tried to tape it back together, as well as other ones.
Well, you know.
It's
not a bad, but it just, I don't know, like I said, it just didn't stick for me. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Sticky Bandits. It's funny, right? But there were some other ones, man. We were, I can't even think of all the ones that we were going to talk about because, there were so many. We kept going, well, that didn't work, you know.
Well, and
that didn't work.
What was it? We also got to the point where it's like, okay, let's have it have no context. Left or right Twix.
Yeah, left or right Twix. We probably would have got some comments off of that one. I thought about that one for a minute because that was really funny.
Well, first of all, okay, I didn't realize
and I'm left-handed, so I have to say left.
That's not how you're supposed to choose.
Why?
That's not how that works.
Why not?
I actually didn't know this.
So you're saying you're a right Twix person?
I don't know. I don't remember which one is which. I know which one I like. I just don't remember if it's left or right.
Well, here's the thing. That doesn't depend on how you lay the bar.
No.
Well, yeah.
No, there's actually a difference between left.
I know there's a difference between the two. No. But if this is the left Twix and this is the right Twix, if you turn them around, the left becomes right and the right becomes left.
No. The left and right Twix are actually made differently. Actually.
I know. But if you turn them around, then they're not the same.
No, because they're still labeled left and right Twix now. Okay, used to be, it wasn't. Now they are labeled. Okay, get it right. But
I'm right, you're wrong. Get used to it.
If you didn't know, I think it's the right one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I should probably be looking this up. But the right Twix actually has more of a crisp to it, whereas the left Twix has more nougat.
What exactly is nougat?
I don't know.
I'm always afraid it's peanuts, not. Just saying.
Anyway.
Next title.
The next title we had begun to conceive. What was it? Milk and Cookies?
Yeah, Milk and Cookies. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what does that mean? I'm like,
no. Okay,
this is Santa Claus.
No. So the reason I said what do you mean is because he shot down my one previous to this, which was One Snow Angel at a Time, which was going to be like a cutesy little thing. And he goes, what does that mean? And I said, it's up for interpretation.
Well, yeah, but mine wasn't up for interpretation. It's what you leave out for Santa Claus.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Unless you think he should be on a diet and then you leave him celery and carrots and he leaves you coal.
Well, at least leave him skim milk.
Ew.
Okay, fine. Almond milk.
Eee.
Sweetened almond milk.
I'm just gonna say I don't know how you make almond milk. Seems like it would be difficult to make.
I have a feeling it's probably the same process of how you make olive oil. Which, if you didn't know how to make olive oil, they actually do it by crushing. Well, actually, if you think about it, the first bit of olive oil, they actually do it by sweating the olives. That is I believe the
extra virgin olive oil.
I think. But after that, it's actually done by the crushing, which is usually about 3 levels of crushing. The first one, whatever like that. But they do 3 different levels depending on what it's meant to be used for, as far as like beauty products, cooking, things like that.
Okay, so help me remember, what were some of the other titles?
The Beard brought up time theory before me this time.
I tried to throw it in for him, and he wouldn't take it.
I didn't like it for once, guys. I promise.
Since we were talking about, again, past, present, and future, I said time traveling.
Or no, what was it? You didn't say it wasn't just time traveling. You said, like, how did you say it? Oh my god, why didn't you write this down?
Because I didn't know I was going to have to remember it 5 minutes after I said it.
Okay, no. We literally said, hey, we're going to do a segment about this. And you said, oh, remember that one. Oh, remember that one.
Oh, I don't remember. I really don't remember. I want to say just time theory,
All I'm trying to say is, okay, we need to go back to the time where you came up with it.
Because he's trying, guys. He's trying.
Everything
I tried to throw him a bone earlier to have time theory right there in the title, but no.
Everything is a timey-wimey ball.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Yes. Okay.
And for those who don't know what that's a Doctor Who reference. Thank you very much. Please. All my fellow Whovians, like, share, comment, follow. Yes.
Yes.
What else? Can you think of any of the others? There's so many. We don't really have to hit this much because we literally, for over a half an hour, 45 minutes, we're like, that's funny, but no.
Well,
that's funny, but no.
We also have to think about, just like Marv did in Home Alone, I kept going, we're the sticky bandits. Like, we'd go on a list of like 10, and then it'd go, we're the sticky bandits.
Since we were on the movie thing, we were going to talk, like podcast hard, like Die Hard. And I'm like, no. It just doesn't sound right. Doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? It's just no.
Once Upon a Podcast.
Once Upon a Podcast. Yeah, we thought of that one. Or It Came Upon a Podcast. It came upon a midnight clear.
Oh, Holy Podcast.
What was it? Little bearded boy or
no, little caffeinated boy. Little caffeinated
boy. That one's actually kind of cute. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't know why we didn't go with that one, but like,
but instead of rumpa-pump, maybe.
Usually I'm the noisemaker, and now I'm very confused because I'm like, did my phone just go off, or no. That's a no from me, Chief.
It's right. I know. We can't do that one.
It's not
fair.
No.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
Now I just said that because there is somebody who listens to our podcast, BUBBZI, that when she hears us go, not fair, she'll start talking because she speaks 8 different languages. And when you do something with a little bit different accent, it breaks out into a different accent for her completely. So she just runs with it. She can't help herself. And then she starts going, English, speak English.
Well, I am speaking English.
But, and I won't mention her name because I didn't ask her if I could, but when you hear the podcast, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I love your face. So anyway.
We thought about Bah Humbug.
Bah Humbug, yes.
Bah Hum Podcast.
Bah Hum Podcast. Yeah.
A Christmas podcast.
We didn't think about Podbug, though.
Podbug.
I know, we're weird. And like I said, this is just, there's no real sense to this first part, guys, other than the fact that you kind of getting a probably unwanted glimpse inside the mind of BUBBZI and the Beard and how we come up with things.
By the way, like I said, this was 30 minutes to 45 minutes long of this. We are giving you the condensed version, okay?
Yeah, because it was just, it was I don't know. There's just all kinds of different stuff.
I guess you could say that, this topic kind of stuck with us.
Right.
Because we're the sticky bandits.
Zoom tight. For all of you that don't know, that's Mama Beard. So, what was I going to say? I just had one because I don't like the movie, A Christmas Story, but we could have done a podcast story. I just thought of that one just came, but again, we can do that again later. But anyway, we probably need to move on because we've scared them enough with the way our brain works already. So, again, we said we were going to talk about past, present, and future. So, go ahead.
How? What did we just do? Okay, we talked about time theory. Now I'm experiencing just gaps in my memory because apparently we've been talking for 20 minutes.
Have we really?
Yes.
We better get going.
I'm very concerned.
For those of you that are now listening, we are sorry that we sucked you into the black hole that is our thought process.
Oh my gosh!
So, I didn't realize we've been talking for 20 minutes.
Well,
that's crazy.
So I just went to go check, like our timer. Yeah, it's at 21 minutes.
All right. Well, we better jump in there then. So, like I said, when we thought about the past, we thought about, BUBBZI and I are going to share our favorite podcast. I think that's one of the things, and one of our favorite memories from past holidays. And we'd love for you guys to do the same. Comment on which podcast you've heard or seen or both, and which one is your favorite, because we'd like to know. And normally I would just throw BUBBZI under the bus.
I was about to say, we need to know your favorite, the bearded boy.
Well, honestly, my favorite podcast is not here on YouTube. It's just on the audio platforms. Because my favorite podcast to date is the one on family. I really enjoyed the one on family. I enjoyed doing it. And I think that some of the things that we talked about in that particular podcast were things that could help people who've been struggling with that idea of family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't listened to it, go back and find it. Let me know what you think. Because, BUBBZI and I have a definition of family. And it's, it's simply put that not all blood is family, not all family is blood. You get to decide who's a part of your inner circle. You get to decide who's a part of your family. That is probably one of the hardest things that I've had to learn in my lifetime. Not that I don't have family, but sometimes family doesn't seem like family.
Mm.
And the other people around you that you've let into your heart, to your inner circle, sometimes pick up the slack where the other family members might let it go. So that's my favorite podcast, by no doubt whatsoever. So what about you, BUBBZI? What's your favorite podcast we've done so far?
While I will say I love the family episode, and the thing is, as far as like my friends and people who have started listening to podcasts, and that's the weird part. That's technically like episode 1, I think it is, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we had 0, which was our
introduction, like, hi, we're these people,
yeah,
welcome.
I can't remember what we called it. Yeah, our pilot, that's what we called it, yeah.
Like, that's what you start, like, that's what every episodic series usually starts with, is your pilot.
Yeah.
But the family, it resonates, I think, with a lot of people, where it's, maybe they didn't know how to put it into words, but I think us talking back and forth for an hour did it justice, I think.
I hope so. I hope this helped a lot of people. I really do.
But as far as my favorite podcast, and I don't know if it's on YouTube, I can do a quick little check while I'm talking about it, but it was Random Access, which was the one where we were trying just a bunch of different segments. We wanted to just talk about...
I think that one's only audio platform as well.
It is. I think it is actually episode 3.
Yeah, I think that's the one we did after family, actually.
I can double check, but that is the reason I think that is my favorite podcast, and I'm looking up to see if we can find out exactly which one it is. But the reason that it is my favorite is I think that was the first podcast where it almost like it started to feel more natural to do it.
You know what I thought he was going to say, guys? That's the first time I mentioned time theory.
I think it was.
I think it was actually, no doubt. But yeah, no, I think it is. I think that's technically it's like
episode 3. I just pulled it up.
Episode 2, which is technically episode 3. But you know, we don't count the pilot. Nobody ever counts the pilot. So, but no, I understand that was a good episode. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But it was the first one where I feel like we started kind of to understand what we were doing. Because the first couple ones, it was like, we were talking about... Oh, it was also the first one that I had turned on my camera, but it was the first one before we bought you a camera. So you could see me, and it was helping us get... into the groove.
Yeah, actually being able to see each other makes it flow just a little bit better because
you laugh at me doing facial expressions.
They're getting ready to say, if somebody, you can see their face and they're getting ready to say something, they're like, got their mouth open, their finger up like, oh, but you can't do that if you can't see them.
Well, and there was also the first episode where you could see me start to make facial expressions, especially when you said something very strange.
Which is most of the time.
Yeah, I do a lot of face because I have a lot of face. I have a big head.
If we're going to talk about the past, all right, then I feel like that I have to, and I'm sure BUBBZI feels the same way. I have to say thank you. Right? Thank you. We started this podcast
by demand.
It kind of, yeah. I mean, we had a bunch of people asking, "Why don't you do a podcast?" But we did it because we wanted to do it, and we honestly didn't know. You know how it is when you do something new, you don't know if anybody will pay attention. You don't know if anybody will watch it or listen to it or what have you. But we've got not thousands of subscribers yet. I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like you guys are talking about us and you're watching us and it's starting to come out because we've got over 8,000 plays between the audio and the YouTube plays. Now that's all you guys. That's not us. And you've made the last part of this past year really enjoyable for us. We invited you into our space and you've allowed us to be in your space. So that's one of my favorite things from this past year is everybody that we've gotten to share our weird way of thinking with. And they still come back and listen again. Blows my mind, Bubs.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you started uploading TikToks in February?
In February.
And the podcast, I think, started in June?
Something like that. I don't remember exactly. It's really sad that I don't remember when it started. You think I would? Especially since we have to do a big year, anniversary when we hit that part.
Well, I will say, so episode 1, at least our script that we use is in here on June 24th.
Okay, cool. June 24th. All right.
And like the first Spotify link to episode 0 was on June 18th.
There you go.
So
cool.
Hey.
So, BUBBZI, what about you? Is there something just from this past year? And then we'll move on to present because we're going to talk about the podcast a little bit, but other things as well.
This year alone?
First of all, you can go back as far as you want, but I already talked too much, so.
Well, like for this year, I got the beard to grow a beard. That was nice. I talked him into curling the mustache. Okay, thank you. Which he got complimented on, by the way. He was against it at the beginning. All right. I'm
always against change, man. Didn't you know that?
Just know, I caused the beard. Okay.
Oh yeah. If you all don't like me, it's all his fault. I'll just say it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, but give us something in and we'll move on before we talk for 20 minutes on each section and we're here for days.
Well, the me trying to talk you into doing TikToks and then you finally doing it and you're like, this is cool.
Well, you know how it is. TikTok turned into something I wasn't expecting. So.
Well, and it's also very strange because it was like, I don't think people get to understand, like for this podcast, we talk about how this is a nice thing for us as well. But if you think about it, it's a scheduled time every week where our entire intention and our entire attention is on each other. You also think about that.
True.
It is like you are mandatory taking time for each other. And I think that probably needs to be a practice I do for a lot of people. Because and I hope someone else can relate to this. I feel like unless I make it a mandatory thing, dealing with people sometimes is hard for me. Like I don't consider myself socially.
You're not. You don't think you're a people person?
No, I'm very introverted. I find myself very socially awkward.
But everybody else thinks you're a people person,
right? That's just because of the big head. It lets out a lot of warm, hot air.
I mean, you and I both suffer from that extroverted introvert syndrome. In certain situations, we're bigger than life, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think I get what you're saying. And yes, I agree. I think that's awesome for anybody. Make the people in your life important, intentional. I love it. That's good, dude. You should put that on a bumper sticker.
There's a lot of things I should put on a bumper sticker. Time theory. And then on the other side of the car, put time theory because it went back to back.
Help me.
It's whoops, my guys. It's whoops.
But I mean, is there anything else? I mean, for the past, I mean, like I said, I don't want to keep them up too much. Now, again, guys, I know you're going to hear me say this a lot. Y'all probably get tired of saying it. Let us know what your things are. You know, like BUBBZI said, this may be, and I've said it before, this may be the podcast we put on, but this is our podcast, and it's so much better when you guys interact. You know, we love anybody and everybody that comments anytime.
As far as like past thinking, what's something random I could bring up that would just that's interesting, but it's also really, really just I
don't know. He can't think of it. Can you? Let's see.
My cousin ran me over with a golf cart.
That did happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
He threw me off of the golf cart. Don't know how I ended up in front of him. Because I was on the golf cart and I went off the side, not the front. But he ran me over.
Yeah. That's something that,
And I'm not sure how that happened.
Everybody survived, as you can tell. I'm just saying. But
I may have suffered brain damage. We're not sure.
So, BUBBZI, what do you think? Nah. You cannot blame that on that. The brain damage is genetic. That's just all there is to it. So,
genetic.
The present. You know, we kind of said, a little bit about a podcast review. We've kind of done that a little bit. But I don't know how to say this, BUBBZI. What do you think? What is it about the present? You know, like I heard something the other day where they're trying to tell people, and I don't want it to be controversial, anything like that. I'm thinking you do what you got to do to protect you and yours. That's cool. Right. But they're saying I heard somebody say just the other day that you should get tested before you go have Christmas with your family. Okay. And that's up to you, man. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not saying anything about it. It's just that the way things have been here in the last, almost 2 years, Bubs?
Mm-hmm.
The people that you call family are the most important thing you have. Because if it hadn't been for BUBBZI and Mama Beard with all this nonsense, I probably would have lost my mind. That's the thing that I will say about the present, right? Is be present. You know?
Well, what is the saying? You're treasure the present because it's a gift or something like that,
Yeah. That's why they call the present that's why they call the gift the present, because it's a gift or something like that. I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But
while yes, it hey, be safe, obviously nobody wants the a bad time during Christmas,
Yeah.
I will say it's not the first Christmas we've ever done in a hospital.
That's very true. That's very true. But we're not going to do that this year. No.
No. Family is one of the most important pieces, and I like I said, we'll reference our family episode so many times. We're talking not just blood. Like, I get it.
Right.
There's probably some times where it's like, I am not going home for Christmas. That is not where I want to be, you know?
Yeah.
But there's just something about being around people who love you, especially during these times, that is so important.
And yeah, I mean, it's, again, I can take it back to the podcast. You guys know that if you've listened to any podcast, there's something that I say at the end of every podcast. And it started by accident, but I liked it and I meant it. So I keep doing it. Right. It's where there's a portion where I tell you all that you're welcome to the family. See, that's one thing that this podcast has become for us. Right. I don't say that lightly. I mean, if you're going through something, you're having an issue, you want to reach out to me on TikTok or through, I think we have our email address in there somewhere, don't we, Bubs? Or have we put it in the description?
No.
Okay. Well, we probably need to add that. And mainly because if you guys need to reach out, when I say, if you've got an issue that I can pray for, I'll pray for, I mean it. It's not like I'm going to put it off till next week. All right. You become a part of our family. When you interact with us, when you support us and we can support you, that's what family does, right? Mm-hmm. That's why we try to do it on a weekly basis. We don't want to spend, when we originally started, we thought, what should we do it once a month? Should we do it every other week? And we decided to do it every week because, well, let's be honest, I needed it. I needed the outlet. BUBBZI needed the outlet. And I believe with everything that's in me that so do you all. Otherwise, we wouldn't have over 8,000 plays, guys. I mean, hello, right? And I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that because I'm appreciative. I'm loving it. BUBBZI's making faces for those of you that cannot see it. So
some could say we're the sticky bandits because we're holding on to you.
No, the sticky bandits will never go away. But no, I mean, I like it. But honestly, that's the thing that this is us in the present, right? This is who we are. Maybe that's the way I should say it. We are involved as much as you will allow us to be involved. If you want us to attack a particular subject, per se, if you want us to talk about something that's really bothering you, and I guarantee you, if you're something, it's not just you. There's other people out there, and we can try to bring that community together somehow where we can do that. That's being in the present, being involved in the things that are mattering to the people that are around you. And that was more than I intended to say about the present, to be quite honest with you. But BUBBZI, am I that far off? And I know those watching the video probably say, why does he talk with his hands so much? Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to talk. That's the only thing I'll say. But am I that far off, BUBBZI?
Honestly, I think he could talk more with his hands than he could if he had no lungs,
Sorry for that clicking thing. I've got a little thing going on with I don't understand it.
All the air that he needs, he creates by waving his hands, okay? That's how
it cools the lips off so they don't overheat during talking.
He's long-winded. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. You got to understand. Like I said, another thing about the podcast is, like, first of all, we talk a lot. That's one thing. But when we want to talk, we talk. At least in his case, he's probably going to be talking probably after he passes. Like,
I need to start make recordings so somebody just randomly drop them to you.
See, I just want to set you up on hydraulics.
Yeah, I know. We have some really bad ideas for my funeral that everybody thinks is funny, but they would pass out if I actually did.
Did you know? Okay, random tangent. Okay, did you know that somebody actually sitting up like that is actually possible, naturally?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Apparently, it's the buildup of gases and things like that. That's why also it's very common for at funeral homes for people to pass gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, I understand. But yeah, so I mean, do you have anything else to say about the present? Anything about the podcast that you want to bring attention to, or anything just in general about the present?
I have no clue.
Well, that's okay. I mean, because we are going to talk about the future a little bit.
See, okay, so how about this? Like, I find the present very hard to deal with. Reason being is you're still experiencing the present sometimes. Like, maybe you're not. Where am I going with this? Like, it's so like,
I don't know.
It's like Big Bang Theory. Just like, you don't know what to do with the present because you're in the present. Ooh,
Why do I feel like he's getting ready to mention time theory again?
I mean, I could. Would you like me to?
No, I think I understand what you're saying. So it's much easier to look back at something after you've gone through it than it is to sometimes articulate and sometimes express your feelings in the moment.
Well, they say
you're still in the moment and you're still overwhelmed, kind of, so to speak, right?
How do they say it? Like, what am I trying to say? Self-reflections 2020, or what is it? What's the saying? Like, looking in the past, you have 2020 clarity or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, stop that.
Excuse me.
You're supposed to drink the coffee. Supposed to drink the coffee. Okay.
Not breathe the coffee. I know, but I did.
Yeah.
So.
You have any idea what I'm talking about? Because I'm going on some weird tangent.
I'm not real. Well, I kind of sort of do, but I don't. I mean,
well, it's like you can recognize your mistakes in the past, and you're like, oh, I should have done this instead. But like, so there's that. Like, you was like, oh, I should have done this instead of the past. But for the future, it's like, oh, I can daydream and assume what I'm going to do in the future.
Well,
whereas in the present, it's like, I can do something here.
Well, I think it's much easier sometimes to reflect on the past and to think about what you're going to do than it is to make a decision in the moment. Because a lot of times those in the moment decisions are the ones that are hard and overwhelming, because again, you're how am I going to say this? Sometimes it's a panicked decision. Sometimes it's life or death, or money, financial worries, or something like that. But it's in the moment, and it's kind of hard sometimes to make the decision because you're still involved in it. You're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But I can see where I'm going to be if I get through this, and I can see where I've been. But it's hard for me to see that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, in the moment, because I'm still stuck in it. And I know that other people feel the same way, and they probably have the same trouble that you are having and that I am having, really articulating what it is about the present that makes it so hard to understand or makes it so hard to do. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's easy to look forward to tomorrow because it's a new day, new beginnings, new blessings, whatever you want to say. You can look back at the past and go, oh man, that was great. I didn't like it very much when I was there. I mean, because, for those of you that are listening and watching, think about some of those past mistakes that you are your, oh, well, back then stories that you laugh about now. Yeah. You weren't laughing in the moment. But now that you're past it, now you can laugh about it. And now you can use that so that your kids don't make the same dumb mistakes that you and I made as when we were kids, right?
Yeah. So before we move on to future things, I have a question for you. This is another time theory thing.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You ever had deja vu dreams?
Yes.
Okay.
I've had numerous dreams that have come true. Pure and simple, dude.
I know. No. I'm with you. Have you ever made the conscious decision when you realize it's a deja vu dream to do the opposite of what happened in the dream?
No. Not that I know of.
I have. It's the weirdest feeling. That was all. Speaking of the future,
rabbit ran, right?
Well, I'm just like, okay, so we brought
all right now, but it kind of segues. You're talking about dreaming,
right? And
so we're going to talk about the future.
Yep.
You know, and guys, here's for everybody that's watching and listening, it's pretty simple. We want you to be a part of our future. And hopefully you want us to be a part of your future. I know that we get a little silly and we get a little crazy and we get a little serious and we get a little all that. And sometimes we're a little much to take. I know that. But, you know, right now, like I said, we don't have hundreds or thousands of followers.
But we have you, and that's the only important part.
That's exactly right. We have you. And you have us. But, you know, let's be honest. BUBBZI and I are talking about some things that we're going to tweak, I guess, change. Some things you'll notice, maybe some things you won't, because it's that kind of tweak. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just going to lay it out here so we don't talk about it too awful long. And BUBBZI can chime in whenever he wants, and then we'll talk about some New Year's resolutions, and then we'll get out of your guys' hair. But my dream has always been for this to be something that can help somebody else. All right. Once we started doing the podcast, I see that potential. And the simple fact of the matter is, the more people who listen, the more people subscribe, the better chance that BUBBZI and I have a chance in our own silly, chaotic way to say something that might make somebody smile on a bad day, you know, might make somebody laugh when they want to cry, whatever the case may be, but hopefully they'll be lifted up and their day will be made better. So I'm expecting big things in 2022. I'm hoping to help our sponsors so much to the point that they're like, what can we do? How do we make it bigger? How do we make it better? You know, because you guys, seriously, if you haven't tried Coffeetarian's coffee yet, go to coffeetarian.store, look it up, try it, put in beard, save 10% off your first coffee order. If you haven't tried CustomBeardCo yet, go to CustomBeardCo.com. Check out the products. You're not going to be disappointed whatsoever. It's good, organic, handmade stuff. The coffee is fresh as you can get it. And, you know, they can't, all these two entities, if you will, came to us kind of out of the blue saying, do you want to be a partner? I'm like, yeah. Right. And we just want to see more. We want to be able to help more people. We want to be able to reach more people. At least I do. That's what my dream for this future year. But we also want you to be able to help more people. That's why I want you to get in the habit of commenting, saying stuff. So when somebody drops a problem or an issue or a prayer need or whatever the case may be in the comments, it's not just BUBBZI and I that reply, but it's all of the Caffeinated podcast family. Mm-hmm. That's what I see for this coming year is we're going to grow more. We're going to have more family members and we're going to be able to reach out and touch more people. All right. That's my whole thing on the future, BUBBZI. What about you?
No. Okay. So future, obviously everybody wants like, oh, let's grow the podcast, you know, or whatever. Honestly, just the amount of growth I think we've seen already is astounding.
Amen. I agree.
Honestly, if it gets any bigger, I would be terrified. As I was at the beginning, trying to talk, just be like, hi, we're doing a thing. Hi, how you doing? You know, I'm Bob's. That's the beard. This is our show. That's how. Oh my god! If it gets any bigger, that's when I feel like I'm gonna just be like, whoo!
And you're right. You're right. Right.
The scariest thing is the bigger this grows. Okay, it's a good thing my head doesn't get any bigger. Gosh, I shouldn't have done that.
He just tried to kill me, yo. Oh my word! I just got choked on my coffee.
Well, like every time that we reach a new milestone on the podcast, I'm just like, instead of like, oh yeah, I did that, I'm more like, how did I do that? You know what I mean? That's what I feel like.
Well, but you know, and it's the thing is though, I get it. I do.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you, baby.
The one goal I think that I would want to see happen is I want to get to our whole thing is like we want to make someone's day better, yes, or whatever like that. I want to get to whether it's social media in general, the podcast itself. But I think doing stuff like for like a charity event or whatever from the Caffeinated podcast, like whether it's like we do a TikTok live for 24 hours or something like that, and like just doing like a charity event, you know what I mean? Like there are big names who their whole goal isn't to lift other people up, you know what I mean? And I love seeing when people who do have some type of move or whatever, they actually do something like that. Like we've
sounds outstanding.
Like we've talked about doing charity stuff before, and
yes.
I know that if like I personally were ever gonna do one, we were gonna do I think T1 International was the nonprofit organization, which if I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast at all.
Not yet.
So Mama Beard is diabetic. She's been type 1 diabetic ever since she was in her teenage years. And we've had some difficulties trying to get her the insulin that she needs to just function. Like it's not
because it's ridiculously overpriced.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying.
Like she's been using, what was it? Over 30-year-old insulin, like the style of making it, because she was cheap enough that she could afford it. But the new stuff is like $1,000 a bottle that'll last her a week.
Oh well, it's not about 2 weeks maybe, but it's ridiculous. So that's I know what you're saying.
So,
go ahead.
So T1 International is a charity whose whole goal is to put like diabetic supplies, insulin, sugar testers, things like that in the hands of diabetics who can't afford it.
There you go. I love it.
We're
going to have to figure out how to do that. And if you guys have any ideas on how to figure out how to do that, like help us do it, then let us know.
Like that's one thing. Like if we got to any point where it's like we're big enough, we can do something, we can make a difference.
That's exactly right.
It's one of the first things we're going to do. Like,
well, because
absolutely.
it goes to the same thing that we've always said. Our goal is to help people, to lift people up, and help them have a better day. You know, we want to be positive. When we say that positivity is the goal, that's what it is, because everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. But if a couple of goofballs from Kentucky can help you have a better day, then I'm just going to say it. I don't think it sounds arrogant or anything. We want to be those goofballs.
Yeah.
Right. We want to be that. We want the family to be large enough to where we can help anybody. You know, and I'm not saying it because, you know, I've had my own medical issues. I, would love to be this in a way helps me with that, but it could also be a way where I can contribute where I haven't been able to contribute before, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
And like, while we're saying this, is like, we don't, while yes, we may be facilitating things like that, we want everything to be going, like if we're doing something, we want every piece to go straight there. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Absolutely. It's not, when we do the charities, not if we do, when we do, it's not about us making money. It's about making them money to do what they can do so they can help people. Because you got to understand that whatever you give, I don't care if it's a quarter, right? If that's all you can give and you say, all I got's a quarter, will that do? Absolutely. Because you're going to be just as much a part of the blessing as anybody else. And that's just the way we work.
But as far as future, like that's something I want to see happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Is getting to something like that.
Now, we're probably getting fairly close to that hour mark. I'm not sure exactly how close we are.
We are at 54 minutes in like a couple seconds.
Well, I figured it was going to get pretty close. So, and since we're just doing New Year's resolutions, this is going to be the final bit before our closing thought. BUBBZI, do you have a New Year's resolution for this new year? Yes or no? If you don't, that's fine. I'm just curious if you do, and just give me one if you have one.
So, as everyone can tell, I am a very big boy. I would like to be a less bigger boy. Of course, I have a difficulty with. It's not working out or anything like that. It's a food problem. I eat way too much.
I love food. I'm just going to say it.
But I want to make a conscious effort to try to be a little bit smaller about this time next year. You know what I mean?
There you go. I mean, I think that's good. I mean, I think the problem with a lot of New Year's resolutions when people make them, they reach so far that they can't even hit the first goal, let alone the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. If I had to make one New Year's resolution at the moment, because I usually don't make them because, well, I'm ADHD for one, so I usually forget them really quickly or just blow them off altogether.
A longer beard.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit. But if I have to make one New Year's resolution, it would probably be to drink more coffee. And he's making a face for those of you that can't see it, because if you knew how much coffee I already drink, and I did say that to kind of be funny. But, honestly, my New Year's resolution is just to attempt to take better care of myself and get healthier. All right. Because I don't react well to change. I don't like a lot of things to change very quickly. And doctors sometimes want to change stuff very quickly, and they don't give me time to think about it first. So my honest and straight one is to attempt to take better care of my health for myself and for BUBBZI and Mama Beard as well. That's what I'm going to try to do.
That's a pretty good one, I'd say.
Again, for all you that hear this or listen to it and see it or whatever you call it. See, I said them both the same way. I didn't realize I did it till it came out of my mouth. Again, chaos is the process.
We do chaos very well here. Welcome
Drop
to the party.
In the comments what your New Year's resolution would be, or something that you want to do. I would just be really interested to hear what you guys have to say. So, again, we try not to keep you all very long. Sometimes we talk way too much. Sometimes I don't know if we talk enough about certain things. But we're coming up on Christmas. And the Christmas season, in my opinion, is really hard for some people because not everybody has fantastic memories of Christmas. Sometimes there's tragedy involved. Sometimes there's other things involved. But this is what I'm going to say on this. This is my closing thought today. Let me do this first. You want to find me? I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. It's the Caffeinated Beard. All right. THE Caffeinated Beard. Drop me a direct message anywhere. Talk to me, whatever you want to do. And I will do my best to get back to you if I see it, when I see it. Because sometimes I get them really quick. Sometimes I'm ADHD. But whatever Christmas may have been, we're talking about past, present, and future, right? Whatever Christmas may have been does not make what Christmas can be today. And it does not have to decide what your future Christmases will always be like. Because no matter what they may have been in the past, you can change them in the present and therefore change them for yourself and for your kids, your grandkids, whoever in the future. It doesn't always have to be this way or that way or about a certain thing that happened however many years ago. What I'm saying is, have a Merry Christmas. And I hope that doesn't offend anybody, because if I tell you Merry Christmas, wish me a Happy Hanukkah, because I'll wish you one right back.
Well, oh my God.
It doesn't have to be about anything else. It's just, I don't care what you, it's Merry Christmas.
The thing is, and I don't think what people don't understand is it is the heart behind the statement, not the statement itself.
Yeah. I want you all to have a great day. I want all the littles to have a great day. Enjoy the time with the people that you have around you. Surround yourself with those people that love you and will lift you up at any given time. And have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. Because you know what? That person sitting next to you trying to steal your turkey leg might be the best Christmas gift you ever got. Because when nobody else was there for you, they were. It's all yours, Bubs.
Well, they try to steal my turkey leg. It's going to be a great Christmas gift. You know why? Because I'll have to. Because I'm taking theirs. Yeah! Woo! Oh, it's been a good day. A good podcast.
We love you guys. We're so happy you're here with us.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, the 10th is gonna be weird, but fantastic. I'll miss you.
We might actually be ready by then.
I know, right? Well, the thing is, we had these planned early for once. I know it was strange. We're gonna miss you. Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna miss your faces. All right. All right. We miss you. We love you. You're loved. You right there. All right. Don't forget that. Right. You can find me and talk to me. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. ITSBUBBZI. It's BUBBZI. BUBBZI's with ZI at the end. I'm weird like that. Haha. Have a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Because this has been the Caffeinated Podcast. Bye, y'all.
See ya.